I think I've had a handle this morning.
You need to get a handle.
Let me get a handle on my diction. I don't even want to go there. Maybe that's the problem.
If you can't get a hold of your addiction, yeah.
You've just stepped into Damn It Jim, the podcast. And now, from the broadcast studios high atop Damn It Jim, the university, here are your hosts Dana Smith and Dan Calzaretta.
Hey, thanks, Eddie. Good to be back in front of the microphone and sitting across the miles from my friend, Dan Calzaretta. How's it going, Dan?
Dana, going great. Hey, good week this week. No weird squirrels. No, food poisoning. Things were pretty good this week, Dana.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that. We didn't have a squirrel episode, but we had a cat episode.
Uh-oh. What was it?
Well, we've got 3 cats.
Yes.
And one of them's always trying to get outside.
Yeah.
Well, we kind of have 4 or 5 cats too, because other cats come to the door and my wife feeds them.
I mean, that's nice of her, though.
It is. She feeds me too, which is probably a lot of people think she doesn't need to be doing that. So she opened the door to go out and feed the feral cat. I don't know if it's feral. It's just probably somebody else's cat.
And the other people are like, wow, this cat never has to eat.
Yeah, we keep buying food, but it doesn't eat anything. And our cat, Bella, took off after it. It went shot through the door and took off after it. She stopped to roll in the grass.
You can get a leash for cats, like a little harness and a leash. You can take them for walks.
Yeah, it doesn't work. You gotta train them from like kittens to do that. Otherwise, it's taking them for a drag.
Yeah, whenever we've had cats, they've been indoor cats.
They live longer that way.
They do live longer, and they kill a lot of birds. It's like domestic cats kill billions of birds in the United States every year.
So, Dan, we're practically halfway through the season already of Strange New Worlds.
Yeah, we're actually 4/10, Dana, or 2/5. See, that math I did pretty quickly there, don't you think?
And you've probably been working on that all week.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Did you draw like a pie and then cut it up in pieces?
No, I was going with fifths of hard alcohol. Wait, why is like whiskey in fifths or whatever? What, a fifth of what?
I don't know.
If you drink all of it, you're a fifth on the way to dead. Is that what it is, or
or you're on your 5th wife by then? Yeah.
Your fifth arrest for the evening.
Yeah.
Well, what is it a fifth of?
Dan, I called over to the Damn It Jim University and actually got connected to the cafeteria over there.
Oh, I thought they would have sent you to like one of the dorm rooms.
The head server at Damn It Jim University cafeteria, she got online with me and said a fifth refers to a standard bottle size for whiskey and other spirits in the United States containing.
How much have you had, Dana? How much whiskey have you had this morning?
Well, I had to do a test, and see if I could determine what a fifth was. And so it's 750 millimeters.
Millimeter? Yeah, you are drunk.
This is what she was telling me. I think she's been drunk. So
she might be drunk, yeah.
Containing 750 milliliters, or approximately 25.4 ounces of liquid. A typical U.S. shot is 1.5 ounces, so a fifth provides approximately 17 shots if you pour larger servings.
I still don't understand. A fifth of what, though?
She connected me to the weights and measures department.
Oh, okay. That's probably better, yeah.
And they told me I was overweight. The term fifth originates from the time when liquor bottles were measured as 1/5 of a U.S. gallon.
That clears it up then, about a fifth of a gallon. But then what's a handle?
A handle is for the 1.75 liter bottle that you get that has, because they don't want you to drop it, so they put a handle on it.
No, don't they call some of the bottles handles?
Yeah, they actually have a handle on them. It's a 1.75 liter.
Oh, I see. So the only... Okay, so this is ridiculous. They were drunk when they came up with these names, Dana. Come on. Well, then what about the Magnum? How do you get that term, the Magnum?
That's champagne, isn't it?
Well, it could be champagne or wine. I've seen beer in Magnum. Maybe they named it after the condom because it's really big.
I thought it was named after the movie Dirty Harry and the 44 Magnum.
When you buy one of those bottles, it's got a gun in it.
Basically, yeah. Might as well be.
Might as well be. What you put to your head. Yeah, no kidding. Well, I think we've cleared that up for people.
That's what we do here is we muddy the water and then we try to clear it up for people. So.
All right. Well, speaking of muddy waters, why don't we move on to listener comments?
Sure, Dan.
So via YouTube, Annoying Critic said, the solution to food poison is to eat a healthier diet, fresh, green, leafy vegetables. Well, I think he was joking because of all the poisonings that have been having with the lettuce and whatever else. I mean, I think I got it from the bok choy.
Something named bok choy sounds like it's going to make you sick.
Well, it's what it sounds like when you're puking.
Yeah, I was just going to say.
But then in response to Annoying Critic, Roxy Ray said, to prevent food poisoning, use a little hot sauce on the suspect food. After it hits, put a teaspoon of white vinegar and 8 ounces of water and drink it. My dad was a long-distance trucker and often ate at suspect truck stops. I think all truck stops are probably suspect, Dana, but I've never heard of that don't get food poisoning hack.
You know, I love truck stops. I worked at a truck stop once.
Yeah, that explains a lot, actually. And that place really was suspect. Well, you were a suspect, maybe. And via email, Scotty Sutherland told us about an incident from his youth that reminded him of Spock mind melding with the plant, from last week's episode. He says, many years ago, the younger, dumber version of me played in a band booked to play a Renaissance fair at a notorious liberal arts college in Oregon. He's got to be talking about University of Oregon, right?
I would think.
My art history major roommate tagged along. We lost him amidst the drug-filled piñatas and smelly deadheads, only to find him profoundly tripping in a greenhouse. He was delivering his thesis on the sexual potential of the potato to the plants. According to him, it went over well. Spock on Drugs was the highlight of this episode, also a good band name if it hasn't already been taken. Hey, Scott, look, if you can put us in touch with that former roommate, we would love to book him as a guest. I want to know how he fared in life. And then, Dana, once again, on a personal note, I would like to thank those listeners of ours who have contributed to my Cancer Society fundraiser. The 300 miles in the month of August bicycle challenge is going well, except, we've had a lot of wildfire smoke here, which has slowed me down a bit, but I've got already 125 miles done. And if the smoke continues to be a problem, I might have to do some of that on a stationary bike at the Y. Either way, I will get this done, and I will once again put a link in the show notes in case anyone wants to contribute. And that is all I have for this week, Dana.
Okay. On Facebook, we heard from David Stricken
from the record. I'd like that stricken from the record, Your Honor. That doesn't make any sense. Like, we didn't even, there's been no reference to anything legal in this podcast today.
Illegal maybe, but not legal. But David Strachan said, great episode, but you missed another Doctor Who reference. Bit more obscure. He says, but aim for the second heart. Doctor Who has 2 hearts, if I remember right. Our good friend Joey Corson said, another great podcast, guys. I did want to mention that I enjoyed seeing Spock's supernova hot X in the Griffin incident. Don't to bring me down, tell me that was not her last appearance. That was good. Thanks, Joey. That's all I got this week, Dan.
Well, thanks everyone who got a hold of us, whether it was on YouTube, via email, or on Facebook. If you do want to call us, Dana, what's that number?
Dan, call the Damn It Jim hotline. It's 509-676-6298. Okay, Dan, let's get started with Strange New Worlds, Season 4, Episode 4, A Case of the Chiaroscuro.
Dana, it's Italian. So I'm half Italian, so I'm going to do a half Italian accent right now. It's a case of Chiaroscuro.
Well, that sounds a hell of a lot better than what I said. So it's
well, it's better than a case of chlamydia.
Oh my God.
But I didn't know what the title meant, Dana. So I called over to Damn It Jim, the university, and I wasn't sure who to ask. Because I didn't know if it was a food reference. So they sent me to the culinary department. They're like, we have no idea, but that could be what's been on the lettuce. Anyway, I finally make my way to the art department. They told me that chiaroscuro is an art technique that uses strong contrast between light and dark to give flat objects a 3-dimensional look. The word comes from the Italian, where chiaro means clear or bright, not charo. Remember charo?
Oh, yeah. Wasn't she like Gucci, or whatever what she said?
I don't think she was Italian. She may have had a case of something as well. The word comes from the Italian where chiaro means clear or bright, and oscuro means dark or obscure. Artists use this method to add drama, mood, and depth to their work. The style grew popular during the Renaissance and the Baroque periods, and some people you may have even heard of, Dana. Leonardo da Vinci, Caravaggio, and Rembrandt all use this technique. Anyway, that's what that means. And it kind of makes sense with this episode, as we're going to find out.
Why don't we dive in? We start off with
I thought we did, haven't we?
I got kind of lost between the churrascaro and churrascaro, well, all that stuff. So.
And a churro is a kind of a Mexican, almost like a, what would you call it? It's like a stick, like a.
Yeah, it's like a sugar stick, isn't it? It's like sugar and cinnamon.
Yeah, oh, they're tasty.
Yeah.
That has nothing to do with this episode. Just to make that clear, nothing to do. Churros, charo, and chlamydia. Potentially, but nothing to do with this episode. Once again, you got to stop getting us off track.
So, Dan, we start off with the first officer's log, and that's Una's. She's talking about a probe overheated.
I'm not. Look, our listeners expect us to say something about that.
You know, what's funny is I've read that like 5 times. Never thought anything of it until I was talking to you.
Well, we won't say anything and just let our listeners think about what they think we would have said.
Yeah. So she threw that one away and grabbed a different probe and and went over the demarcation line.
Uh-oh, that's not good, Dana.
Which she refers to as Klingon territory. So make of that what you will. Oh my God.
Oh, that's great. Perfect. Now we're in the Damn It Jim zone. That's where we are right now. The only thing that would have made that better is to somehow work in the joke, there's Klingons circling Uranus.
So she's in the shuttle with Mabinga and Uhura, and they are tasked with going across the demarcation line to retrieve the probe, as sending the Enterprise in could look like an aggressive move by the Federation.
Well, let's get back to that in a second, but we should mention that the entire show is in black and white at this point.
I was going to get to that.
Oh, okay. Well, then I won't say anything. So, Dana, won't the Klingons see the shuttle? I mean, come on.
Apparently they don't watch this area that closely or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't buy that.
Yeah, I don't either. But the writers did not call us for input.
Well, they did. They called me.
And you said it should be a probe they're going after. An overheated probe.
Yeah, that was exactly what I said.
What more input do you need?
That's it. That's everything.
They built a whole show around it. Yeah.
If they only worked in a black hole, like if the probe was circling a black hole, that would have been great too.
That might have been better. Yeah.
Or a brown dwarf.
As opposed to a red dwarf.
There are brown dwarfs though. There's brown dwarfs, there's red dwarfs, there's white dwarfs.
Yeah.
But those are real types of stars. Usually a collapsed star, I believe. I think that's what happens, Dana. I'm not quite sure about that.
A supernova is when a star completely collapses.
Well, it explodes, but not all stars become supernova.
True. That's where you get the dwarfs and Snow White.
That's another kind of star. The Snow White star. These astronomers are like, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to call these dwarves. People will never believe it.
Oh my God.
So we've gone a half an hour.
We're not even through.
Not even the opening freaking scene.
And none of this can even go in.
None of it can go in. None of this can go in. We need to sell the outtakes, Dana.
That's where the money is, I'm telling you. Along with the lawsuits.
Okay, back to they're in a shuttle, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So this is Una's first assignment as a commander.
Right.
If you're watching the beginning of the show, everything looks kind of strange, kind of silver and black almost. You realize the show is in black and white due to a star that has a black body specter, as Mabenga explains.
Spectre.
He said black body specter.
Like Phil Spector. Maybe it's Phil Spector. And his hair. So we see everything in black and white.
Yeah, they connect with the probe. But they are blocked by a Klingon cruiser that would keep them from getting back to the ship.
When you mean connect with the probe, what do you mean by that?
They were able to get a hold of the probe. I don't know. But they send it back to the Enterprise.
So that's what I'm getting at, I guess. They somehow get the probe back to the Enterprise.
Yeah, I didn't see them leave the ship or nothing, but they said, oh, now we've got the probe headed back to the Enterprise or whatever. So Pike tells the shuttle that they basically need to hide.
But Dana, this is one part I still didn't understand. Why couldn't they just get back?
Yeah, and then they say like the planet scans them.
Right.
But they said that, because of all the other debris that's around, they're probably, it's probably real quick and they probably didn't really notice them.
None of that made any sense to me. And I think they were just trying to get on with the show.
So they decide they're going to land on the planet and just stay hidden.
Right.
They fly in and they leave the shuttle and they're dressed in like 1940s detective outfits.
But what didn't make sense, Dana, is that, yeah, I know that they've established in Strange New Worlds that the transporter can put clothes on people or whatever, but they don't know what these people even look like. So that's the part that was confusing to me.
I agree. I mean, just all of a sudden they're like in these, 1940s clothes, but the planet looks like something. I don't know if you were ever watched, was it Buck Rogers, the original, or Flash Gordon? And so the planet's got like these zeppelins in the air. And it's got these elevated trains and stuff. It looks like something out of Buck Rogers or Flash Gordon.
And almost kind of like a little steampunk kind of thing mixed in, maybe.
Yeah, and which I love that look. I think that's a a cool thing, especially like in movies and stuff. And when I was a kid, and they used to show like the Flash Gordon stuff with Ming the Merciless and stuff. I'm talking like the 1930s.
I didn't know you were that old. Jeez.
On this Buck Rogers Flash Gordon planet, we see a Klingon message about identification.
And it's like a hologram, right?
Yeah.
But we get the sense that the Klingons have occupied this planet.
Mabenga and Una and Uhura are all walking along the street, and this guy comes up and calls Una boss. And he says, where you been? You've been gone for a couple days. That's where we get the main credits, Dan. So you kind of like, you're just stuck with this whole new mystery going on.
Right.
So when we come back from the credits, the guy asks about her armbands, and we see like everybody walking around's got an armband on of some kind.
It's got the Klingon kind of symbol on it.
Yeah. Uhura says that they're undercover, and that's why they don't have their armbands on. The guy says they need to get back to HQ to handle something else.
And she says something like, these are my new recruits.
So next we go into a swanky bar scene, and they have a resistance member that needs to be questioned. And so Una's like, I'll talk to her. And it's this woman, she looks like she's been like punched in the face a couple times, looks a little beat up.
I thought she had a case of the Chiaroscuro.
Could have been.
We realize that Una, or whoever this guy thinks Una is a collaborator, works with the Klingons, right?
Yeah. We go back to the ship. La'an and Spock are examining the probe.
Yep. I guess that romance is still hot and heavy, Dana.
It wasn't Spock's probe, but it was the the Federation probe.
Now, is this the part where Spock mind melds with the probe?
He's trying to get La'an to mind meld with his probe.
My probe to your probe.
We're never going to get through this.
No, we're not.
So then she, Spock is like, well, why do you think it's been messed with? And she goes into this kind of long speech, but basically she says, lately she's been a little paranoid. And so then she sees one of the microchips has been wiped clean.
Well, you want to clean the probe, Dana. I mean, that's pretty important.
Yeah, I mean, who knows how many times that probe's been used.
And you don't want to get a case of the Chiaroscuro.
And she's like, well, I want to keep investigating. And Spock's like, I've got something you can investigate. So if you want to investigate a probe.
Oh, yep, you're right. We are never going to get through this. But it's more fun that way.
So back on the planet, Una is questioning the prisoner, and she's trying to be like, figure out what the hell's going on, really.
Right, without giving up that she has no clue what's happening.
Exactly. Then a Klingon walks into the bar.
That sounds like a joke. A Klingon walks into a bar. I don't know what the joke is. That's all I could come up with.
Yeah, somebody can come up with that. One of our listeners can come up with a joke for that.
But you were talking about Flash Gordon a few minutes ago and how the planet kind of looked like it. Do you remember when Flesh Gordon came out in like the 80s or something? And it was this like soft core kind of porn thing called Flesh Gordon. Do you remember? And the rocket ship just
looked like a
probe, like a
Yeah, I kind of do remember that, actually. And I've never saw it.
Yeah, I never saw it either, just to make that clear.
So the girl bites down on something in her mouth.
Not the probe.
Not the probe. Then she tells Una, it's you now. And she says 34.6 megahertz. And then she starts foaming at the mouth and dies.
That was pretty good. The foaming was pretty good.
Yeah, it's kind of gross.
So 34.6 megahertz is a frequency of some kind. We know that. I mean, we're smart enough to know. We don't even have to call Damn It Jim the University for that one.
Yeah, well, you're a ham radio operator, so you know that anyways.
And that's true.
So the Klingon questions Una.
Is this Elmer Fudd is now in this episode? What's going on?
Hey, you silly rabbit.
So we've had in the last couple of weeks, we've had Elmer Fudd.
Yeah.
We had Gomer Pyle.
And Goober.
We had, of course, Shaggy and Scooby-Doo. So we're just covering the spectrum here, Dana.
Kind of like what hits the fan. Yeah. The Klingon questions Una and he calls her Navette. And then he says she did the right thing by killing the collaborator. So then Una goes back to M'Benga and Uhura, who are standing at the bar, and says they need to get back to the shuttle. When they go to leave, they find a security checkpoint asking for identification.
But hold on, before we get there, doesn't M'Benga say he recognizes the Klingon and its core?
Yeah.
He was in an original series episode. What episode was that?
Yeah, Dan. If I remember right, it was Errand of Mercy.
Right.
He also shows up in the animated series in The Time Trap.
Huh.
And then he appeared a few times on Deep Space Nine.
Yeah, and I thought this actor, whoever this guy was great.
When they go to leave, they find a security checkpoint asking for identification. Well, they don't have any identification. Uhura's kind of standing out front, and they grab her and ask her for identification. Of course, she doesn't have any, so they take her away.
And M'Benga says to Una, look, we can't get involved because then we get arrested and no one can help her.
Exactly. So this guy comes up and calls Una the resistance leader. So now we get that, like, she's a collaborator, she's a resistance leader, and so she appears to be working both sides of the fence. Meanwhile, Uhura gets questioned by the Klingon commander, Kor, and he tells her he's going to use the mind scanner on her. And he pushes this little machine up in front of her.
So he's going to try to probe her.
So back in the bar, the bartender they're talking to is part of the resistance. And he's giving Una and M'Benga information they need to help themselves as well as maybe save Uhura.
Now, does he know at this point that she's not really Navette?
No.
So I ruined that.
So meanwhile, back on the ship, La'an is checking on this chip.
La'an's determined that someone on the ship messed with the probe.
Yeah, basically deleted this chip that had information on it. So she finds Scotty and Ortegas, and they are like buddy-buddy now.
It's making me a little nervous.
And it's like they're just like, you know, one person says something there, one looks at it and smiles, and the other person smiles back, and they're like, oh, that's a great idea. It was kind of stupid. So Scotty says he's the one that created this signal, and he's got a way of tracking the Klingon ship that's out there so they can see when it'll be clear for the shuttle to return. And then he sees something else, a possible hidden signal behind his relay. And I tell you, normally I don't have a problem with Scotty's accent, but it was so thick. And he was like so happy or something. The way he was talking, I could barely understand what he was saying.
I had to put the subtitles on at this point. And the subtitles just said, we can't understand what he's saying either.
Yeah, it's like, and there's a ship there, and when it is, and it's followed it, and it had the Klingon ship, and we'll be able to get the shuttle back. That was basically it. So we go back to the planet. Uhura is being scanned by this brain scanner thing. He's showing her an image and he says, "What is this?" And she's like, "A tree."
Yeah, what? I didn't get that.
And then there's all this like electric current stuff.
Like she's a liar? Is it kind of like a lie detector? Is that what we're meant to believe?
Yeah, like it can tell your brain waves or something, whether or not you're telling the truth or not. And she kind of winces in pain and stuff, but it doesn't seem like it's really doing anything. Meanwhile, Una and Mabenga are in Navet's office and they find a secret room, and then they find a chip that shows the resistance is going to set off an EMP to give the resistance a fighting chance against the Klingons.
What kind of P are we talking about?
EMP.
EMP.
So it's electrical military police. And as I understand, it's electromagnetic pulse.
And it's a real thing. Like if there was an atomic explosion, those give off these huge EMPs. Now you're probably dead, so you wouldn't notice it, but it will disable electronic devices.
Yeah, and they've talked about making stuff that's an EMP, like you could shut down a city by detonating an EMP like in the middle of a city, not with the radiation, of course, of atomic bomb.
Right.
So then they go to this other chamber and they open it up and they find the real Navet. She's in a cryo chamber. And Dan, she's dead.
Dead.
Yes, it looks like she had like something coming out of her mouth, like, blood or something.
I do have a serious question, though, for you, Dana. Who played the dead Navet? How did they get someone that looked just like Una Chin Riley? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can't answer that without calling you stupid.
Well, she has a twin, obviously. That's how it works, Dana. She has a twin, right?
It was actually Jerry O'Connell dressed up like her.
No, who's Jerry O'Connell?
Her husband. He was in Stand By Me.
Wow, how did she marry that dweeb?
Well, she was married to John Stamos before, wasn't that it? So, I mean, she had nowhere to go but fucking up.
I wonder if we can get her on the show at this point.
Not if you leave that in, but... So we go back to Uhura and she keeps getting shocked. Then all of a sudden somebody comes in and says, "Oh, your ID card has been verified," and they let her go.
Now, this went back to the guy in the bar who said, "Look, we can sneak an ID card in or some." But again, it didn't really make that much sense.
So she goes back to Una and explains that the Klingons are going to take over Matar, but now they all have ID cards so they can get back to the shuttle. Then the Klingons come marching in, singing a Klingon song, and the resistance people start like pounding on the counter, and the piano starts playing this tune. That's taken right out of Casablanca.
Yes, right out of it. Yep.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's a part in Casablanca where the Germans are singing, Edelweiss or whatever it was they were singing. And then the resistance starts singing, Viva la France or whatever.
Viva Las Vegas. That's what they were singing.
And then Elvis came in.
Well, it was an Elvis movie, wasn't it? He was in there. He plays the lead character. Most people think it was Humphrey Bogart. No, that was Elvis.
Elvis was around for a long time.
Well, and he's not dead. He's still alive.
Yeah, working for the FBI. Una decides she's going to stay and help the resistance instead of going back to the shuttle and getting off the planet. And Mabenga warns against it. She tells a story about when she was a child.
Here we go.
That they didn't fight and stuff, and they ran away, and she doesn't want to run away again. And well, then Mabenga also says, "Well, when I was fighting the Klingons for the 400th time." So on the Enterprise, La'an is certain there was a signal that's coming from someone on the Enterprise, and it's not Scotty, and it's not Ortegas. The next thing we see is the Klingon leader sits down to talk with Una. So he talks about how the Klingons will close the airspace over the planet and control the Matars. And he says he is depending on her to help them out. So they find out about this detonator that's going to set off this EMP, and Una goes to find it, and then she goes in this room and finds the detonator.
Okay, I must have missed that part.
But it happens so quickly. Yeah, it's just like all of a sudden she's there, she goes through a door, and she comes out with the detonator.
And again, remember, I get commercials. By the way, only one Venus commercial this episode, but maybe I was thinking about that,
Yeah, hard to believe.
But just one, Dana. Look, if people from Paramount are listening, I'm willing to like sit through 2 or 3 or 4 of those commercials. So go ahead, just put as many on as you want. You think we could get them as a sponsor, Dana?
I think it's worth a try.
Why not?
Yeah. I mean, Paramount TV, Damn It Jim, the podcast. What's the difference? We'll even write the commercial for them.
Oh gosh, yeah. It would write itself, Dana. It would, and it would be great. It would be great.
So anyways, she's walking out of this long hallway. She encounters the guy that was there earlier, and I never caught this guy's name.
Roman. So he is working for the Klingons. He's figured out that Navet's a collaborator.
Yeah, and he's the one that killed the real Navet.
Right, which is why he was shocked when Una showed up.
Una's trying to talk to him and stuff. And he's got the gun right in her face, the disruptor right in her face.
Well, that's right. He had a gun. I forgot about that.
And then there's the best part of the show. Una disarms him, beats the hell out of him, pins him against the wall, and throws him on the floor.
It was great.
And she says she'll give him a chance if he can help the resistance reclaim Matar. He's like, I can't. And he runs off. And she doesn't shoot him or anything.
I thought it was weird. I mean, we're going to find out why in a few minutes. Hopefully, if you don't ramble so much, it'll be pretty quick. But no more things about probes or, anything else.
Back on the ship, Lon goes to see Chapel as she feels she can't trust herself anymore. And she's telling her this whole thing about the probe and about the chip and everything.
And Chapel's like, what probe are you talking about?
Yeah. Is that my probe? I've been missing my probe.
We're talking about medical probes. They got a lot of probes in sick bay. That's all we're talking about.
Then Chapel says she's the reason why Lon was unable to trace the signal. And Chapel says it had sensitive information, not just Starfleet and not Klingon. So she says the USS Yang went into Klingon territory, responding to a distress call.
And if the Federation found out, those people on the Yang would get in trouble because they broke a Federation rule. Don't penetrate Klingon space with a Yang.
Or a probe. Yeah, or probing Yang.
I don't know if we can put that in either, but it's pretty good.
She says that she knows the captain who is a friend, and she's like, now I'm asking you to be a friend.
So don't tell anybody is what she's saying.
Yeah. Stop your stupid fucking investigation is what it comes down to. Yeah. So back on the planet, the bad guy, Roman, wants to talk to the Klingon leader. He gets stopped by a scanning system. And so they like freeze all this stuff, and they're pointing guns at him. He reaches in his pocket and he pulls out the detonator.
It's like, what's this? I didn't know someone stuck a probe in there.
So as the Klingons all advance on him, the detonator goes off, shutting down all the Klingon systems, the force fields, everything. So Una says, I knew he'd run the Klingons. So then we go back to the ship. We see Lon talking to Pike, and he asks about the whole probe thing and what she found out.
Yeah, tell me everything you found out about this probe, like where it's been, who's handled it.
If you have pictures, yeah. It's a
yeah, was there video involved?
Yeah, video would be much better. High def. And she's like, no, nothing. It turned out to be a dead end.
So she lies.
Yeah.
But he knows something. He's like, well, if you ever have to, reopen that investigation, why don't you come to me first? And so I think this is why he's a good captain, because he knows what's going on, and he knows it's not a big enough deal to like report it to anybody.
He trusts his team.
He does.
So on the shuttlecraft, Mabenga says the evacuations went quickly, and we see all these ships leaving.
Yeah, they're getting the hell out, Dana. They're getting the hell out.
And then as they're heading back towards the ship, it looked to me like it was turning back to color.
I think it was.
And Dan, that's how this episode ends.
Dana, you have something interesting to share with us about this episode.
Dan, one of the things that kept popping up was everybody referred to this as the Casablanca episode. To start off with, Casablanca is probably in my top 5 movies of all time. It's not a Casablanca episode. They make 2 references. There's 2 things in there that are Casablanca-ish. It's got nothing else in common with Casablanca. Just because it's black and white, and most people don't watch black and white movies anymore, they have seen images of Casablanca, and so their only reference to a classic movie is, oh, that's a Casablanca thing because it's black and white, and I saw a clip of that once. There was no romance. There was no, other story. There was no.
There's no probe in the movie Casablanca, as far as I recall.
No, it's just nice that they made this this kind of 1940s reference, and I appreciate it for what it was, but it's not Casablanca. So, Dan, do you have any notes you want to share about this episode?
I do. Rebecca Romaine, Una Chin Riley. So she plays two characters in this episode. She plays Una, and then she plays a corpse. And it's the same as William Shatner did, Dana, in the original series Operation Annihilate, playing both James Kirk and his dead brother, George Samuel Kirk.
With a mustache.
With a mustache. So, Dana, what do you think Kirk would do?
Dan, this would have been a completely different episode if Kirk had been there. He would have fought with the Klingons. He would have been arrested, and McCoy and Spock would have been left to try to rescue him. How about you? What do you think Kirk would have done?
I think Kirk would have played the role that Una plays, and he probably would have been physically altered to look like the local aliens, even though these local aliens looked exactly like humans. But if it were in the original series, I think that's what would have happened. So, Dana, what do you have for a best part of this episode?
Dan, I love the look of the city. I would have liked to seen more of it. What do you have for a best part, Dan?
I really like that this episode is focused on Una, Mabenga, and Uhura, and I think the actors who portray them are excellent. Dana, how about another best part for you?
Una is the main character. I think she's a great character as it is. In this episode, we get a little more depth from her, and she looks damn good in black and white. I liked it. Do you have another best part, Dan?
I thought the sets were really cool in this episode. Not only the city scenes, but also the bar, I thought was just a great set. Dana, how about another best part for you?
Una kicking Roman's ass. She moved quick. She beat the snot out of him fast. I just loved that. What about a worse part of the show?
The backstory of the Klingon occupation, it was either absent or even worse, it was confusing to me. How about a worse part for you?
The whole thing with Uhura's interrogation, it seemed like really quick, and I know they got to move the show along and stuff, but it doesn't seem like it was as cruel as it was supposed to be. Do you have another worse part, Dan?
Once again, no Sam Kirk or his mustache, or for that matter, his uncanny vocal resemblance to Shaggy. How about another worst part for you, Dana?
The whole subplot about the chip seemed weak. It just seemed like it gave the other characters something to do.
Dana, how about if we move on to dilemmas? What do you have?
Dan's kind of an age-old thing. Do the right thing. Can't just leave the poor people at the hands of the Klingons and, step up, be counted kind of a thing. How about you, Dan? What do you got for dilemma?
Well, Una, as Navette, says that fear is the only way to lead. And I believe history shows us that while this may work in the short term, it will eventually fail. Unfortunately, innocent people often become victims of these kind of leaders, Dana.
So true.
Dana, how about if we move on to counts? Dana, what do you have for talking too much?
Dan, I had one. It was when Mabenga kept talking. It seemed like he went on and on about a couple stories. I actually did it a couple times, but I only counted once. How about you?
I've got that, and then I also have the part where Una was talking about a kid and her parents and whatever that was all about. So I've got 2, Dana. That puts us at 28. How about the dead crewman count, Dana?
Dan, it's sad, but we haven't had any in a while. We are still at 20.
How about shedding tears, Dana?
I didn't see anything this week, so we are still at 37.
Rip shirts, no shirts, who's showing skin?
I thought maybe when they were torturing Uhura, we might get something, but
No.
Nothing this week. So we are still at 23.
How about the supreme being count?
We haven't seen a supreme being this whole year. We are still at 6, Dan.
Taking over the Enterprise.
Nope. So we are still 6 with that count as well.
Fights.
Well, Una kicked Roman's ass. So that's at least 1.
Yep, I agree.
So that puts us at 40.
All right. And then how about log drops?
Just 1. And that was from Una. And that puts us at 40.
Okay. And then finally, Pike cooking.
He hasn't cooked at all, really. But we are still at 21, Dan.
All right, Dana. How about your final thoughts for this episode?
Dan, this is a nice episode. It seems like the writers of Strange New Worlds are going through every genre ever made. While I don't hate it, part of me feels like they're checking off boxes instead of trying to create something new. Mostly, I like that we had Una as the main protagonist in this episode, and we get a little more depth from Mabenga on what he's been through and things he's seen. I always like him because he's like this, not quite voice of reason, but kind of voice of experience. We also get to see how tough Una can be. The lawn stuff seemed kind of like thrown in after the fact to keep us guessing as to whether or not she's slowly becoming like her previous family member. I thought the story was a little weak at times. Like you had said, there's some points in there where it's cloudy. Again, nothing for me to hate it. In my mind, Dan, it's been 4 good shows to start off the season. What about you, Dan? What are your final thoughts on this?
Dana, I was skeptical when I first saw that this episode was in black and white. However, shooting in black and white, I think, adds kind of a mysterious effect, and that enhances like the spy theme of the episode. But I thought there wasn't as much drama as I thought there should be. This could have been enhanced by learning more about why the Klingons wanted this planet, so more of a backstory there may have been helpful. I also find the idea of a doppelganger pretty unbelievable. I did like the scene with Scotty and Otagus, because she's becoming Scottish now, I think. I mean, I thought it was humorous and continues to build their story together, but for the love of all that is good in the universe, I hope this does not become a romantic entanglement. Overall, it was an okay episode that once again focuses on characters other than Pike and Spock, although I think we need an episode where Pike, and his hair are the main attraction, and cooking, and more dead crew members. That, Dana, would really help. All right, well, what do we have for next week, Dana?
Dan, it's something I can actually pronounce. Next week is Level 5, Transporter Accident.
Dana, this is the one we've been waiting for. This is the Muppet episode.
Oh, I was afraid, but we'll see. The cast talks highly of this episode. So,
well, Dana, I don't know if I told you this, but next week is my anniversary, and my wife and I are actually taking a little trip. So it's not a vacation. I just want to make that clear. It's not a vacation. It's more of an obligation, Dana. Wait, I hope my wife doesn't hear this.
I was just going to say.
So the episode's going to be late. Instead of being out on Monday the 24th, the episode will most likely be out on Wednesday the 26th. So a few days late, but we're definitely going to make sure that we get that episode done because it's the Muppet episode, Dana.
Can't delay the Muppet episode.
Hey, Dana, I had a great time.
Yeah, same here, Dan. It's always great to get together with you and talk about Star Trek. And we also want to thank everybody that writes in and or calls. Until we meet again, live long and prosper.
Thanks once again for listening to Damn It Jim, the podcast. This podcast was written and produced by Dana Smith and Dan Kelzaretta for Ramble Jar Productions. We'd love to hear from you. Please give us a call on the Damn It Jim hotline at 509-676-6298. From Dana, Dan, and the entire staff at Damn It Jim, have a great rest of your week. And, as always, remember to live long and prosper.